Cancerian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross Watchers. Welcome to your Timeless Path of True Love read with Extended. We'll get there. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, author of Words of Grace. From a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box, creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hello, my crab cakes. Hope you are well. It is Path of True Love time. Not like all time isn't Path of True Love time. If you are new to the channel, there is a video link in the description box here on YouTube to a video I made last year, a preface to the Path of True Love readings, as well as there's all sorts of links down in there talking about the Path of True Love, twin flames, soulmates, and all of that. We are going to be doing a classic 10-card Celtic Cross spread with some other stuff thrown in part 1. And then over on VIMEO.com or on Patreon, you can catch the extended all tiers, all subscribers on my Patreon. Get access to the extended readings, past, present, and moving forward into the future. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know the YouTube rules. Check your other signs, because the relationship we are about to look at, who is crossing your path on the path of true love, your hero's journey, your healing journey, your spiritual path through your relationships, may or may not be romantic, sexual. Honestly, I've been finding that they're very general in part 1, and we get into it in the extended, so you'll know if you need to make the jump over. Other than that, both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will. I will focus on my breath to stay here in the present moment and get you the clarity, guidance, and grace needed here, because as you heal one relationship in your life, you heal yourself. So you are healing all the relationships in your life, because you are the common denominator of every relationship in your life. It's sort of obvious, right? So let's get up in this gig. We're going to start with the Caroline Mace Archetype deck to get one for the Cancerian and one for the person crossing their path. Could be the cross watcher, but do understand there is often mirroring, so it may jump back and forth, right? Only you can know that. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's also a video in the description box, booking a reading with Mal. I made it to explain the before, during, and after to make it really, really easy for people to book readings. And I love to go in. I'm a Virgo. I love to get the detail. That's why general readings are fun, but not as fun as actually working with someone one-on-one. So let's do this. Breathe. From exposition to divination. Here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the path of true love, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, for the Cancerian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. First card, I'm just going to call that one the Cancerian, because going back and forth throughout the whole ring is a little crazy making. So they will know if this is them or not sooner or later. Please show me the dominant 8th chakra archetype for the Cancerian Collective on the path of true love. Just see what that is. Ooh, the mentor archetype, wisdom family archetype, who crosses their path on the path of true love in some way, shape, or form. The relationship can be anything. This is just 8th chakra dynamic. The mentor and the beggar. Ooh. Now, the beggar, I believe, is either wild card or action family archetype. There are 9 different families. There are a lot of archetypes. And some of them overlap, like the alchemist is in the divine as well as in the wisdom family. So we have some wiggle room there, unless you're really into Sacred Contracts by Caroline Mace, MISS, PhD. Then it's a moot point. But these two together can be very, very powerful. Before we even get into the mentor, I'm going to read what's written on the card in a minute. Beggars have been throughout time and history. I mean, they're scriptural, right? You go back into the old books, not just the Bible, but, there's always been beggars. In mythology, right? How far back you want to go. So if you take these two literally, you might miss the tone and the information that's here. So let's tune to these. The shadow is the stuff that's being healed, the stuff that the path of true love is all about, the alchemy from lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace. Lead being an insulator kind of holds energy back. Energy can't really move through it. Gold is a conductor. True love is the truth of who we are. So our lead to gold ratio is always shifting and balancing up and down. So to be consciously on the path of true love, understanding that your relationships are happening for you, not to you, to grow and evolve, this gives you some insight. So let's look at the mentor. As I said, wisdom family archetype. Inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instructions. I'm not really a mentor. I'm a healer. My healing form now is counseling, spiritual counseling. I've been doing it for decades, right? So that's a healing family archetype. This is wisdom family archetype. The light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Now you think student teacher. I do have the teacher archetype, obviously. But the mentor, the technical name for the one someone mentors is a mentee, all right? So we're going to play with that language a little bit on that. So keep that in mind. Who do you take under your wing? And that's actually in the artwork of the card, mentor, taking someone under a bird wing, kind of, sort of. Looks cool. The beggar archetype. Now, I know nobody wants this one, so you're probably glad it's in the position that crosses. But it has high spiritual value. I think that's why it's a wild card family. Why the wild card family, the ninth family, oh, that's a good name for it, the ninth family, is the ones that don't fit in anywhere else, right? They don't really categorize that well. And so as a result, like a wild card, playing a card game, playing poker or whatever, get the wild card. Jacks are wild, whatever. It could be in any way, shape, or form. So the shadow attribute, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. We're all in this together, all right? So as much as the word dependency has such a negative connotation, technically it's a neutral thing. You're dependent on oxygen. There's your number one dependency. You breathing dependent. Hello, my name is Mark and I'm a breath addict. BA meetings? No. So this is to the exclusion of effort. There's a big difference there. The light attribute confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. The authority, take it out of policemen and authorities, like political authorities and stuff like that, and think of it in the terms of author, right? How you author yourself. And then this is incredibly powerful. What an opportunity. The spiritual authority of humility, to know that you do not know, but you're willing to be shown. Humility is not humiliation. Humility, the grace of humility, the first grace and the last grace that I talk about in my book, Words of Grace, because it is my saving grace. Grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know, but I'm willing to be shown. That's humility. How can you be humiliated if you know that you don't know? Right? Compassion for yourself and certainly for others, and self-esteem, which is a verb. Really understanding that you are a divine child. And when have we ever not had to beg for mercy? Right? I got some lower back pain going on. Some of my prayers have been a little beggy. Right? So reason, season, or lifetime, these archetypes are in play. And a mentor and a beggar, it feels like this could be really, really good. Right? But again, it depends on the lead to gold ratio in a general read for whoever is reading this. So let's get our 10 cards of the Celtic Cross on the table here. This is the next 4 chakras down: heart, throat, third eye, crown, the internal world, the feminine energy, the yin dynamic, whatever you want to call it, Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a feminist deck that I've been reading since I'm 19 years old. I'm 53. I know, don't look at thanks. I have my mother's skin, who happens to be a Cancerian. Breathe. Thanks for the good DNA, Ma. I gotta call her later. Let's do this. One more nice deep breath. As I call upon my goddesses of water, the sign of Cancer, powers of the West, please, 10 cards, Celtic Cross, one at a time, face up. For the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Watching this video, receiving this reading, and to help inform and heal the cross watchers too. We've got the Cancerian presenting here with the Mentor in the 8th chakra. How is that affecting the heart, throat, third eye, crown, the internal world? Okay, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups, certainly, and you know, we're used to it, right? 3 cups fallen, 1 cup standing. In this deck, that is there, but the key word on here is sorrow. This might be more like emotional relief, emotional release. A woman sitting at the edge of a water line, whether it's the ocean or a lake, you can't tell, right? There is a moon crying in the sky, a full moon. So this is about a tide. This is about a waxing and a waning, an ebb and a flow. And as more cards at the table, I'll feel a little bit, we'll make that more specific. But for right now, think of it as at the highest point emotionally as bored, like meh, and you know, the low end, I guess you want to say the lower end of it, depression, grief, you know, tragic. It's only 4. It's a thing. This will pass, but heart chakra, element of water. What's going on with this beggar? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, please, the world behind their eyes, crossing their path. Alright, 6 of blades, which is the 6 of swords. You know, crossing from choppy water to smooth. But the key word here is manipulation. And I know, you immediately go to the negative on that. I've got some lower back stuff. I was shoveling some snow, and for something that happened in a split second, it's now been like 2 weeks. So, yoga is manipulation, right? Prayer is manipulation. It is neutral, and that's why this card has no reversal, really. It's mandalic, like a mandala, in the sense that it doesn't matter how you turn it, right? So mentally, this is a third eye card, one would think, maybe even throat chakra, about somebody coming into balance. I mean, counseling is 6 of blades, 6 of swords, right? A mental process that takes you from choppy turbulent, which this could be a little choppy turbulent. It's not a 5 though, it's a 4. Maybe even dissatisfaction. And so the mind is spinning here, but then of course that can be manipulative, because someone who's has a dependence on others to the exclusion of effort has to do a lot of thinking and a lot of manipulating, and you know, it's different if someone's disabled. That's what I mean. The beggar archetype, they can do it. They're just not putting in the effort. Let's see. What's at the root of this? The core, please. Common denominator for both of them. Sort of the root chakra of where they are on the path of true love on the inner. My goddesses, please leave that card in my hand, because if someone's being taken advantage of here, let's find out. Well, it's a court card. The Libra card, the mother of blades, Skadi, Norse giantess from Norse mythology. Are we still gendering giants? I thought giant was just a thing. Whatever. It's a race, I guess, I suppose, in the mythical things, the mythical races. This would be the King of Swords, and certainly 7th house dynamic. When it's heart, throat, third eye, crown, it's really not somebody on the outside. We're looking at the whole schemata of 7th house, ruled by Venus, partnerships, marriage, legal stuff. But when it's heart, throat, third eye, crown, this can be very much about mental, emotional balance. Probably more on the mental than the emotional, but I say it a lot. If you look at the sign of Libra, the scales, it's not about being. The Libra is really not this side of the scale or that side of the scale. They're the center point. That's what they're trying to create, balance, right? So this could be about fairness. This could be about cardinal air, communications in the subconscious that need to happen, or both of you Might be balancing some things out here. Now, I would think that speaks to this being more therapeutic, manipulative, than harmful. But let's see. Particularly if the mentor is helping them in that process, right? This is not necessarily feeling romantic sexual, but plenty of romantic sexual relationships have been a mentor and a beggar. See what I'm saying? Even if nobody was aware of that at the time. So what's going on here? That's why if you go in direct, you don't see it. You gotta kind of like interpret it, pull back and see the different angles in. All right, where are they coming from? What's behind them on the path of true love? The Cancerians. Two of Flames, the indecision card, definitely for me in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Mahueha, volcanic fire goddess, juggling fire. You no longer at the ace. You're like, okay, I know what I want, but do I want to do it this way? Or do I want to do it that way? And the key word is want, element of fire. What you yearn for, what you burn for, what you desire, right? What you will say, what you won't say. Throat chakra dynamic for surezies here. So some indecision there. And that could certainly lead to a Four of Cups situation. A bit of dissatisfaction if the trigger has not been pulled, so to speak. If the choice, this is just a choice. I don't think this is great, big, huge, life-changing decision. It's what do I really want? You know, you gotta find out what you want, what you really, really want. You wanna. Well, I wanna know what's crowning this, what's hovering, ready to land as an act of will, interestingly enough. And we have got Malama. Excellent. Nine of Pentacles. You know the Nine of Pentacles. They who have their own for themselves. This is healthy independence. 3 threes, right? A nice solid foundation of 3 solid foundations that are built upon, not at the 10 here, but this could certainly be in terms of just self-esteem when really going inside and looking at all the wisdom that you have. The way I read, when it's an internal card, feminine energy, element of earth, it is about wisdom, the things that you had to learn through action and application in the world. So I feel like that's kind of sort of in here, particularly with a mentor. That's hard-won wisdom, but one that is often very independent, right? Like, this is my wisdom, personal, right? And maybe it can be communicated, maybe it can't, right? And sometimes you can communicate it as much as you want. Someone just has to go through the experience to get that wisdom in their own way. What comes after that? Should that be chosen? Should that be allowed to land and manifest? Yeah, another court card. We got 3 on the table. Now, because they're internal doesn't mean there aren't a lot of people involved in here. There are other cards that could come close to the same vibration. Here we've got, right now we've just got the Libra, and this is the Sagittarius card. The Sagittarius 9th house dynamic, Kiridwin, Ceridwin, I've heard it said both ways. Mutable fire, a goddess of transformation, the cauldron with the fire under it. It's great myth. Just be careful what you take a sip of. Just bloop, bloop. Yeah, it's good to know mythology, I tell you. It's very powerful to see it play out in the world in different ways. But this is mutable fire. That there are new desires rising up. This can be very much excitement, 9th house dynamic, expansion, spirituality, internal, again, throat chakra here. It feels like the choice here would make sense as they take stock within themselves of the wisdom that they have, their option to do that. In a crowning card, 9 of Pentacles, either side of this, really, if they do that, could get very, very excited about this and all of a sudden have a lot of different desires. Or maybe a lot of big desires. I want to do this, I want to do that, and we could do that, and we could do that, and we could do that, right? Like the archer, flaming arrows. Green arrow's big cousin. Flaming arrow, work! Show me the lesson, please, my beloved goddesses of water. The sign of Cancer, element of the West. What would you have them learn? Ooh, the Deception card. 4 of Blades, 4 of Swords. Yes, a card of meditation, mental rest. Would make sense here with what's on the table for shoresies. But the key word written on the card, and I don't always read keywords, is deception. It looks an awful lot like the Two of Swords in the Rider-Waite, but there are two swords crossed underneath that she is either not aware of being deceived or is aware of but doesn't want to be aware of deceiving herself. This is about internal introspection. Now, there's another card in this deck, the Seven of Blades, that is literally called meditation, and that's different. This could very much be mental healing. This could very much be a mental or moral inventory if there's a 12-step deal in this with a beggar and a mentor. See what I'm saying? It's like, oh, someone in the program and someone mentoring them. I think that's the right sponsoring them. So this could be that. That's what I mean in a general read. Like, and that's why I love private reads. I do. And I get paid well for them too. And I leave it on the dance floor every single time. I need a nap after I do a private reading nowadays. We need our beauty rest, don't we, Cancerians? From the outside looking in, if we were to walk up to this this soul contract horizontally, come back here, yeah. We'll see if that one pops up. What would the vibe be, right? Heart, third eye crown. What would that feel like for the Cancerians, the witch? So definitely there are things coming into alignment here. From the outside looking in horizontally at the two of you, or maybe the Cancerian alone, that this is someone who is empowered, who is making some real manifestational moves on the inside, right? Coming into alignment, empowerment. It is the first card of the major arcana. People want to think it's the Fool, but the Fool is 0. It has no numeric value, therefore it cannot be first or last. It's in between the world, universe, and the Fool. The first card of the major arcana is the Witch, aligning fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, aligning the chakra column. That's why you hear manifesting and you have all the tools. Well, Heart, third eye crown, any major arcana card, and this is your first one, affects all 4 chakras simultaneously. So I love that. I'm really, really loving that for you. So this feels good. Well, I'm also getting here, there's a real touch of like the honor code is in place, like the boundaries are there. So it feels very aligned, even though that's kind of lower chakra stuff. We'll look at that in the extended. Please, what is the destiny here? What they most hope for and what they're most terrified of on the hero's journey aspect of the path of true love. Where are they in terms of alchemizing their lead to gold, their fate to destiny on the path of true love? Temperance. Yay! Good. Good. Because, yeah, you're going to need your patience on this. This is going to take time. If this is a rehabilitation situation, and rehabilitation means to restore to its original setting, essentially. You know, like when you rehabilitate something, it's to bring it back to its original habitat, kind of, sort of. That's why it's originally kind of used in houses, right? To rehabilitate a house. But temperance is one of the alchemical cards, and that temperance takes time, heat, and pressure. And there's enough fire here on the table to indicate, and not just in the fire cards. It's there in the Witch. Where else did I see it? All right, it's in the Mahueha, Two of Flames, Sagittarius, and the Witch card. Boom, 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 literally across the table. The process of tempering, I say it a lot because I watch them on YouTube. When they restore like rusted metal clocks or the lighters or stuff like that, what they put it through, right? The sandblasting, all of that process of rehabilitation. Restoration is another word. Awesome restorations I watch. He's so cute. God, he's like in Europe. No, you stay over there. I'm over here. But, you know, one of the things they do, they temper the metal. They put it in a furnace, right, till it is glowing white hot, and then they douse it in oil which burns the heat. They leave it in there for a while, right? Time, and then they plunge it into oil so that that pressure, it just condenses like that and becomes stronger than it was. So of course this is a card of healing. Of course this is a card of balance. And certainly following the witch, this alignment is in play at some point, right? Let's see, how does this, what is the most probable outcome to the timeline of this lifetime on the path of true love? In this chapter, this situation, my goddesses, in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus on path of true love reading, timeless whenever they catch this, between the mentor and the beggar, please leave it in my hand. The Empress Mawu. Mawu, literally giving birth on the back of an elephant. The Empress, you have 3 major arcana cards in a row, and this is not a timeline, past, present, future, but it's saying your vibe, at least internally, is very aligned, right? What that looks like on the outside is different, but that's sort of the vibe you're giving off, because you are in a place of tempering. Right, you're in the place of that internal balance, which of course brings alignment. Keeping in mind this Libra thing of balance and justice and all of that there too. That's why I do feel like there's an ethical thing in alignment here as well. That's a good thing. But to end with the Empress, the conglomeration of all of the queens in the court cards. This is the wife, this is the mother, this is the divine feminine energy, this is the creativity. Regardless of bodily gender, we're talking about an unconditional love here. That maybe this is mothering yourself, maybe this is not just mentoring, but mothering somebody, but in a healthy way, an empowered way, particularly with these cards, as they are laid out. All right, we're going to take a little trip to Oracle land here. Whispers of Love Oracle, one for the mentor, one for the beggar, the voices of the higher self. Then I'm getting you a healing mantra card from Matt Kahn to help whoever is watching this heal. And then we're jumping over to the extended. Throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra, location, location, location. Breathe. Let's draw down. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading? The pieces of information, inspiration, insight that they need in this mentor-beggar contract, in this timeless path of true love, glimpse, GPS point of view, Google Map, just showing us the overview. Let's go first for the mentor with the 4 cups on the inner. What do you got there for them, their whisper of love? Treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. I think that's on the table, but loved ones here, how many family members mentor others, right? So this does not scream romantic sexual to me. Let's see, with that beggar, the romance card, right? Let's see, the higher selves of all involved. What's the whisper of love for the beggar archetype here in this? Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. This really feels familial. Feels like family or family of friends. There's something perhaps tribal about this, where the two of them, the mentor really wants to help the beggar. I do not feel like this beggar, well, this could be somebody begging for attention too, right? Like, how do we beg? What do we beg for? And more importantly, why do we beg? But the key is there an exclusion of effort? And I'm sorry, a disability precludes that, right? I think that's what I want to say. Like, if someone is disabled, that's different, right? To the exclusion of effort means they can, but they won't, right? And I'm not getting that here. Although, with this Libra card on the inner, it might be finding the fair, just way of doing this. And it's a journey. It's a path of true love, right? Not an instant gratification of true love. Because, let's face it, instant gratification ain't fast enough. Postcards from the Edge. Carrie Fisher. Breathe. Let's get you the healing mantra as I call upon the Ascended Masters of the Path of True Love. Last card down. Taking a little breaky poo. Gonna have a sip of coffee. Do a little Wim Hof breath. And jump into the extended for them. So please, one card in clarity. For my beloved crab cakes, the Cancerian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, and the cross watchers as well. What is the perfect healing mantra to help them move forward, advance, heal, become the true love that they truly are on this path in this mentor beggar contract? Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. Oh my God. Totally. It's about cooperating. This is not about the mentor carrying the beggar. I really feel like, yes, there is going to take some time. Well, I'll sum it up at the end. You know I do. Unless you don't, if you're new. I do that. Let me read this from the bookie book. Because that Four of Blades, deception, to know that you're not seeing things clearly, I think, is half the game. Like, most people won't even acknowledge that, right? Oh, what do you mean? I know exactly what's going on. And we don't. Certainly not from the 8th chakra perspective. I mean, let alone the 5th, let alone the 7th, right? Most people are coming from the lower 3 chakras. Unless you're following me on YouTube. Otherwise, I don't think a lot of people would get what's being laid on the table most of the time. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. A great mantra. Creating cooperation. When cooperation is created, the unity of all is access to accomplish more in one moment than any one person can do alone. There is just one of us. That is what unity consciousness is. That is the true love that holds the particles of the universe together so we can have this experience of appearing to be more than just one. As a creator of cooperation, you are giving others the right to contribute, which only broadens the effect of collective expression. Now, I can understand if somebody is begging and you're the mentor, I can understand that. It could be a bit of a turn off. Like, please, I just want to help. I just want to help. I just want to help. And if you feel like there ain't something healthy going on there, that could be on the table here too. You might have to stand your ground. If it becomes a codependency, for example, that dependency word in there. Once cooperation is created, all facades of competition melt away, allowing each individual to feel a renewed depth of self-worth by serving a vision greater than any degree of individual gain. And I think this mentor could very much inspire this beggar to do just that, right? Creating cooperation with them, treasuring their loved one here in some way, shape, or form. This last bit. This mantra is ideal for enhancing teamwork, transforming family dynamics. Like, I kind of get this as a family in some way, shape, or form. It could be a corporate family even. And increasing inner peace, which I do feel like speaks to the Four of Swords in traditional Rider-Waite, right? That thing of sort of like, okay, I got that 3 under me, but do I know about the 4th one underneath me? Which is why she crosses the 2 swords under the bench there. There is more going on here that meets the eye, but it takes introspection, not investigation on the outside. What I love about this reading, why it feels so cohesive, is everything that's in the cross is minor arcana and court card. Your lesson is minor arcana. These are things that happen. The court cards are people, granted internal for this read right now. The minor arcana are things that happen, more like a reason, if not a season or a lifetime. But the major arcana are major symbolic stages we go through, right? So think of a stage, right, with characters, people, and things going on. That's what tarot is. All the world's a stage. It's men and women, merely players strutting and fretting, etc., etc. With these last 3, the Witch, the Temperance card in your destiny. Your destiny comes from Temperance, patience, mentor, and that there is unconditional love here. There is that Empress card, that mastery of feminine energy, at least a divine feminine energy moment. Let me give you the blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine to please bless, we're talking Cancer and the mother of this, sorry. The High Priestess is the maiden, the Empress is the mother, the Hermit is the crone in this deck. Got it. One more. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine to please bless the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video and their cross watchers to be blessed with all that they need on the path to true love, that the mentor can pass on wisdom, refining a student's character, and that the beggar can confront their empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakening the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem, while the mentor treasures their loved ones and really seeing that there in the outcome, and the beggar being in the present moment but dreaming of the future, that where they are is temporary and the help is here. And how are they going to do that? Help them to create cooperation here so more gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play, so that they all may heal, may grow, may evolve, may alchemize the lead to gold, so more of the true love, that who they are, that current, that power can shine through them, mothers of the zodiac that they are, that they can fulfill their role in the divine plan and be a blessing upon this world in whatever creative cooperation goes on here for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. So it is. This could totally be parent and child. Totally could be. Play itself out in so many ways. So did you like it? Like it, hit the thumbs up. Help the other crab cakes find this. Feels like important and sensitive reading. Want more of me here on YouTube? Hit the subscription button, and I do recommend the notification bell. I'm putting these readings out when they are ready, no longer breaking my ass to stay on the YouTube treadmill. I love YouTube. I don't work for them anymore. I'm over on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. Come Patreon on Patreon, and if you want to book me for a private read because you might need some help, you reach out. Booking a reading with Mel, video in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck on the path of true love. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.